Hi, welcome to FrightFest.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's always it's always a pleasure to be here. I've been here for 21 years. I'm not literally here for 21 years. I do go back home every now and then. But yeah, it's just my 21st year at FrightFest. First time with a film, however.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Social media, there we go.
There we go, something like
that. So for the people who don't know who you are,
Yes.
do you want to just introduce yourself?
I'm Giles Edwards. I am one of the producers at Queensbury Pictures who produce Broadcast Signal Intrusion. I also run the New Blood screenwriting initiative in collaboration with FrightFest, which is where Broadcast Signal was birthed.
I'm so excited for this project. I'm actually trying to keep still.
Oh, good. That's what I like to hear. It's great.
Whether or not I get to catch it this weekend, or in a future date is another matter. But please tell me about it.
So Broadcast Signal Intrusion, I can't give you the log line, it sounds incredibly rehearsed, but I mean, look, Broadcast Signal Intrusion is a sci-fi tinge conspiracy thriller set in the late 90s, that kind of nascent period of technology. It's about a video archivist who discovers what's called a broadcast signal intrusion, which is a real thing, and these things happened in Chicago in the 1980s.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
Tim and Phil took this real incident, which is where some hackers essentially hijacked a TV signal in Chicago in 86, I think it was 87.
Amazing.
And they basically broadcast a weird Max Headroom kind of style video for like 30 seconds. No one ever found out who did it. It's like it's not an urban legend because it did happen. People can see it. You can see it online, but no one ever found out who did it.
Nobody found out.
The FBI, the FCC, everyone tried to find out who did it. No one ever did. And so Tim and Phil took this idea and thought, well, if this guy finds this, what if there's something beyond that? What if these things were actually confessions to a possible crime? He goes down the rabbit hole. So you've got this guy, played by Harry Shum Jr., who basically goes down this rabbit hole and, finds what he finds.
Amazing.
I'm not going to tell you what he finds, but
tell me.
it'll either disturb you or upset you, or maybe not. I don't know, but
where
he goes, it's his journey really down this rabbit hole, and he's looking for some kind of closure. He's looking for some kind of answers, and the film is about whether he really wants those answers, whether you would want those answers. It's good. Goes to some dark places. Yeah.
I like it. It's good. I'm really looking forward to this actually. So, FrightFest.
Yeah.
Did you have this in mind when you were making this movie?
Well, yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, we found the movie, we found the script at this New Blood thing I do. So I think if we hadn't got to FrightFest, something would have gone desperately wrong. What I am glad about, though, I mean, look, I've known Alan for 20-something years as a distributor, as a pal, as a genre nerd. He rung us up straight away as he's in the film, which he doesn't ever do. He normally emails you. But he rang straight away, and I saw the phone call. I was like, oh shit, here we go. This is going to be good or bad.
You're in trouble.
And he just said, I loved it. And I was so relieved because, Alan's a tough nut. He never, ever pulls his punches. He'll tell you if he doesn't like a film. He'll tell you if he loves a film. And for him to say, do you know what, actually, we're really proud that this is the first film from New Blood. It really means a lot. And I don't want to sound sappy. It really kind of was the whole purpose of doing this, was to try and find new talent, new British talent. FrightFest is such a conduit for UK horror, and me as someone who's been here as a fan, as a professional, and now as a producer, to find that script here, to make it happen, for it to come out as well as it has. Well premiered at South by Southwest. It's been to Fantasia. Now it's coming home to FrightFest in the UK. It's the first UK audience. Actually, I think it's the first audience ever to see it on the big screen as well, because South by Southwest was virtual, Fantasia was virtual. This is the first time ever on a big screen for anyone. So Phil's here as a writer, and I'm here, and it's going to come home, which is, it's great. It really does validate the project, and it validates what we were trying to do with the project as well. We're trying to find this new talent. It's like, it works. We can say to people, it's not a dream, it's not a utopian kind of thing we're trying to do. It's actually, we found a script, we made the film, it's now here, and people love it. I mean, that's great.
So this New Blood thing, for the people who, for the guys who don't know what True Blood... New Blood.
True Blood's TV show.
There's okay, I'm trying to socialise with people again after 18 months. It's really hard.
Okay, fair enough.
The New Blood thing.
Yeah.
For the people who don't know what it's all about, just can we explain it?
Yeah, so New Blood is a thing I came up with in concert with, I think, Greg and Paul, actually, who were the first people I talked about. I said, look, do you want to try and find some UK scriptwriters? Because I'd love to try and find some UK scriptwriters. Yeah. I don't know where they live. I don't know where they hang out. I don't know what they do. They're presumably writing somewhere. They're not out promoting themselves. They're writing. They're being creative. Where do we find them? How do we get this new there must be people out there writing stuff that aren't, representative agencies.
Dark
They are, and they're
UK.
somewhere. And Greg said, you know what, we've been thinking of something like that as well. We'd love to do something with you. Queensbury had done a film called Girl on the Third Floor, which played at FrightFest a few years ago. We're part of MPI Media Group and Dark Sky Films, so we've got a legacy that stretches back to House of the Devil and Stateland and The Innkeepers, and loads of great genre films. So hopefully we're known for what we do and our taste. So we came together with FrightFest and said, look, let's ask people, send us your ideas, send us your things. We'll get the 8 best ones to come down, and we'll talk about your ideas, and we'll see if we can kind of workshop stuff, inspire people. We got some. For the first year, I think it was Barbara Crampton, Travis Stevens, and I think Jen Wexler, director of The Ranger. So we sat down, it's like speed dating, and we had these 8 writers who'd already sent these great ideas and said, look, this idea is great. Have you thought about this? Barbara kind of came in and said, well, have you thought about this protagonist? We just kind of talked to them for 20 minutes, and you gave them a real kind of sort of shot of kind of confidence, and hopefully inspired them. And one of the first scripts we got sent was Tim and Phil's. And, you read that script and you're like, oh shit, man, these guys really, where were they? They were teaching in Manchester, they were out there, they were writing, but they had no way to kind of get their work out there maybe and connect. Exactly. So we were just very lucky the first year that we were like, this is what we set out to do. We apparently have done it. Yep. Cut to 4 years later, and actually we did do it. We found that thing, and, we're now doing it every year. There's another film which has been optioned by a producer called Jan Handorf, who's she's had films at FrightFest here. She found another film through her mentoring a couple of years ago, so she's option 1. There are 2 or 3 more we're looking at. So it's hopefully an ongoing thing, a constant thing we can do, and it's because of FrightFest. This film is here because of FrightFest. I'm here because of FrightFest. It's they're really central to this. It's great.
And what better place to find those writers than the fans of horror, the ones who have been here all the time.
That is the thing. You can find writers, you can find great writers, brilliant professional writers, but they might be genre tourists. Mm-hmm. What you need to find is someone who's steeped in it, absolutely lives it, but is also a great writer, and that's a difficult thing to find. You can find absolute fans, absolute nerds who love this stuff, and maybe they're not quite good enough actually in structure. You can also find great writers, and they just don't know the genre. They've seen a few of the kind of classics, but they don't really know the history of it. They're not steeped in it. They don't know what's new, what's challenging, what's breaking boundaries, what's all that kind of stuff. You need to find those guys. Tim and Phil absolutely live this stuff. They live the stuff. They're brilliant writers, and they are like the ideal. They're the ideal kind of find for a producer or a development guy. And it's absolutely. They know what's come before. They know the history of it. They know what they're talking about. When they write something, they are very aware of everything that the scene they're doing has been preceded by, what references they're using. It's great, and you can just see it kind of flooding out creatively from the page. And it's nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it.
And this has given me even more incentive to go and see this movie.
I hope so. There's a long advert for it, but there you go.
It sounds amazing. It sounds like everything that I've been hoping for throughout my years of being at FrightFest.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, look, it's a dark psychological movie. It's it's not a rock and roll laugh a minute through a ride at all. It's for a very certain kind of audience. But I think it's people who like Zodiac, people who like Alan J. Pakula films, people who like Amenabar's Thesis, people who like The Conversation. It's that. It's kind of, it's not a throwback. It's not a retro film at all. It's set a few years ago, I think, at a certain period in time. Because that's when the actual incident happened, but it's really a film for people that like to be a little challenged and that don't mind going to some quite dark places.
Well, there you go. I'm super excited about it.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for having a little chat with me.
No problem at all.
I'll catch up with you soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Luna.
Thanks.
Take care.